In the cold expanse of space, the Zorath Alliance, an ancient and powerful alien coalition, watched from their observation deck as humanity's fleet emerged from the darkness. The Zorath had conquered hundreds of worlds, their technology unmatched, their ships sleek and designed with mathematical precision. They had faced countless species, but none had ever presented a true challenge until now. High Commander Viral stood at the helm of the Grand Observation Chamber aboard the Imperium's Wrath, a massive dreadnought that had never known defeat. His four glowing eyes narrowed as holograms displayed the human fleet's approach. The Zorath Council had dismissed humans as primitive upstarts, their technology supposedly crude and underdeveloped. Yet here they were, advancing boldly into Zorath space, with ships that defied all logic. What are those things? Viral's voice was low, laced with disbelief. The holographic display showed human warships, hulking giants of steel and fury, bristling with massive cannons and missile silos. Unlike the sleek elegance of Zorath vessels, human ships were brutal, ugly, and terrifyingly practical. Armor plating covered every inch of their surfaces, making them look like colossal beasts forged from raw aggression. Each ship seemed to embody the harsh, unyielding spirit of its creators, humans who had fought through centuries of war and hardship. Primitive savages, sneered Science Overseer Tilak. Their ships lack grace, and their design is barbaric. They're just metal slabs with guns. But Viral wasn't convinced. He stared harder at the human fleet. There was something unsettling about the sheer presence of those ships. Their very appearance screamed of a species that had clawed its way up from the dirt and built engines of war through blood, sweat, and sheer willpower. "Open communication channels," Viral ordered. A moment later, the face of a human commander appeared on the holographic screen. He wore a dark military uniform adorned with medals and insignias. His eyes were cold, sharp, predator's eyes. His name tag read, Admiral Marcus Hale. "This is Admiral Hale of the United Terran Navy. You are in violation of Treaty 7-9. Withdraw your forces from the Vega system immediately, or we will respond with force." Viral chuckled, the sound echoing like grinding metal. "You dare threaten the Zorath Alliance? We are older than your son. Your technology is primitive compared to ours." Hale didn't flinch. His voice remained steady and cold. "Try us." The transmission cut off abruptly. For a heartbeat, silence filled the observation deck. "Arrogant fools," Tilek hissed. "Prepare to wipe them from existence." The battle began with brilliant flashes of light. The Zorath fleet fired first. Sleek plasma beams and advanced energy weapons lanced toward the human ships. These weapons could cut through most known alloys like paper. The Zorath commanders watched confidently, expecting the primitive ships to be torn apart in moments. But then, the impossible happened. The plasma strikes hit the human ships and did nothing. "Impossible," Viral shouted. "Their armor shouldn't be able to withstand that level of energy." But the humans didn't just survive, they retaliated. Massive railguns fired from the human dreadnoughts, launching tungsten slugs at near-light speeds. The projectiles tore through Zorath shields and punched holes in their sleek, graceful ships. Explosions erupted in the void, scattering debris across the battlefield. The Zorath, renowned for their technological superiority, found themselves utterly unprepared for the brute force of human engineering. Missiles followed next, primitive, unguided yet devastatingly powerful. They didn't care for elegance or strategy. They were pure destruction. Entire squadrons of Zorath cruisers vanished in waves of fire and metal. The battlefield became a graveyard of shattered ships and broken pride. "Shields are failing," cried a Zorath officer. "How?" Viral demanded. "Their weapons are outdated. They should not. They're using sheer kinetic force," Tilek whispered, horrified. "They've bypassed our advanced systems by relying on raw physical power. No finesse. Just brutal, overwhelming violence." The realization struck like a thunderbolt. While the Zorath had evolved past primitive weapons, focusing on precision and advanced energy manipulation, humans had refined their brutality into an art form. Their warships weren't designed for beauty. They were floating fortresses built for survival and dominance. The humans fought like they had something to prove, as if every battle was a fight for their very existence. High Commander, an officer said shakily, "We're losing ships faster than we can replace them." Vural stared at the holographic map. Half of the Zorath fleet was already gone. The human fleet continued advancing, undeterred, unstoppable. For every elegant, precise maneuver the Zorath attempted, the humans answered with raw force and relentless aggression. It wasn't just their weapons, it was their strategy. They fought like predators, adapting swiftly, exploiting every weakness with terrifying efficiency. Their warships moved with purpose, coordinating strikes that shattered entire formations. "Retreat," Vural finally ordered, his voice hollow. "But, Commander, retreat." The order echoed through the fleet, but it was too late. The humans pressed forward with relentless fury. Ship after ship fell before the overwhelming might of the United Terran Navy. The pride of the Zorath Alliance was being shattered before their very eyes. Back on the Imperium's Wrath, Vural stood in stunned silence as the human flagship, the ISS Titan, loomed on the horizon. Its guns glowed menacingly, ready to fire. Every inch of the ship radiated power and menace. A final message came through. Admiral Hale appeared again, expression cold as ice. "You should have listened. This is your last chance. Surrender or be destroyed." Vural's throat tightened. His fleet was in ruins, his soldiers dead or scattered. His pride, the pride of the Zorath Empire, was crushed beneath the unstoppable force of human will. He felt something alien to him. Fear. True, unfiltered fear. "We surrender," he whispered, each word tasting like ash. The transmission cut. Vural collapsed into his command chair, utterly defeated. Around him, the once proud officers of the Zorath Alliance stood silent, unable to comprehend the magnitude of their defeat. In that moment, the Zorath Alliance realized the terrifying truth. Humans didn't just build warships. They built nightmares forged from desperation, determination, and an unbreakable will to survive. The legend of that battle would spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Other empires would learn to fear the humans, not for their elegance or technology, but for their terrifying resilience. Because when humanity went to war, they didn't just fight, they conquered. And the galaxy would never forget the day humanity proved they were the most dangerous species of all.